Hello! Here's the guitar. Here's the neck joint. I think it looks good. So, I'm going to show you how I did the routing for the neck pocket. And I am going to show you how I'm going to file this corner down so that they match up. I was first thinking of trying to come up with a way to remove this blob, but it just seemed like more work than it's really worth at this point. I might be wrong. But I think I'm just going to go with having the neck connected like this, and then a solid collar on the sides, and obviously here where the neck meets the body. And then I'm just gonna do something else fun with the back of the neck and the front and back of the guitar, because I want to show off the nice wood. Okay, so I'm going to route the neck pocket right now. As you can see, it might look a little bit wonky, like why is it so big? And that's because if you look at the guitar neck, it has this tenon that goes out, and so we have to account for that, because I want the 16th fret on the end here. This is super simple. All you need to do is make sure that the center line that you have on your guitar body, you either have to draw this out or it's the glue line between the two pieces if you have a two-piece body. So if you don't see it, that's okay, but right here there is a line where the two body pieces join together, and down here is the line of the template, and that will make sure that everything gets routed straight. And well, that's about it. Let's route this sucker. Okay, so measure your tenon so you know how far down you need to go, and then you set up your router so that touching the body is 0, because this edge right here is the template, and if you measure from that, you're not going to cut nearly deep enough. This is the true 0, and you want to go down into the body. So we're going to set this up now. It depends on what kind of router you have, but mine has a stop on the side that lets me set my 0, and then I can just take what measurements I had, which was 17 millimeters, and I can go up and put this stop on 17 millimeters. And now, when I push this down, it won't be able to go further. And then we just have to take this in a couple of passes, going back and forth and back and forth and lowering it slowly and slowly. So let's see what happens. Don't forget to wear ear protection and eye protection. So here is the body connected to the neck. It's all clamped in place. And if I take a pencil and I just draw a line on the underside, you're gonna get to see this real soon, as soon as I find a pencil that works. And then I just draw a line on the underside, and I mark where I believe they meet on the side. Just a mark on both. And it's just an indicator. So you just need to make a little tiny mark. And now we'll flip it over. Okay, so now we clamp the neck. And we remove it. And we can draw from the mark we had a line that connects them. Now we can work on this to make it look the way we want it. Because like right now, this line is a bit wobbly to me. So if I work on it a little bit and I smooth it out a little bit, I can make it into something that maybe looks a little easier on the eye and a little bit more round over and neat. Something that goes together with the rest. You can take something that has a round shape to it. This is a bearing, just something I had laying around. And you can use that to help you shape it. And now I'm just taking my jigsaw and I'm cutting. But I'm not cutting on the line, I'm cutting on the outside. And then I'm working my way into the line. If I plug it in. And now I'm just going to take my Japanese eraser file or whatever they're called, and I'm just gonna work my way in towards that line. I'm gonna move the camera. Don't worry about that, we fix it. It's gone. Now, you can do templates to cut things, but the best thing to do is to put the neck back in and feel with your hand how it feels, because nothing is ever going to be better than your hands just feeling things and you going, do I like this or do I not like this? Do I need to take more off? Go slowly and work your way towards what you like. I can see that I need to make this a little bit smoother to blend this edge here and this edge here in. I can also feel a little bit of a mid-low here, so I need to round it off a little bit more. But I'm gonna take the neck and I'm just gonna pop it in and I'm gonna feel with my hand, and I can feel that nothing is in the way. So I'm in the right space right now. But I can also see that the joint is a little bit outside. There is a tiny little lip here. So I can go a little bit further in without any problems. Yeah, so I can still feel that there is a tiny lip here. Now it's down to maybe 0.5 mil or something, so I'm almost done. And you just go back and forth until you're satisfied. This is one of those things, like, it doesn't take much, but it gives a lot. Okay, so now the neck is in and the connection between is perfect. I can play my hand all the way up and nothing is in the way. Keep in mind I haven't done the round over, so it's not round overed on this end, but once I've done that, it's going to be perfect. Now I'm going to take a quick break and sand the entire guitar. Yes, that was a stupid joke. And when I'm back, we're going to look at some other things that I need to do. But I feel like this is the time to sand it and get some of these weird lines from the planer out and just, yeah, see you in a bit. So, now I've sanded the body. It looks a little bit nicer. I've reshaped the headstock to a simpler and, in my opinion, nicer shape. Because I feel like I'm putting a lot of work into this. Might as well not give credit to the ones who did all the mistakes. So now I'm going to take and do the round over on the body. And then I'm going to glue in the neck and seal up the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to glue in the neck, and I'm going to show you my gluing trick that I use, or I actually have two tricks that I do. And the first one is that I put tape along the side, like this. And the reason why I do that is because if there is any glue squeeze out, then the glue, I mean, if there is any glue squeeze out, when there is glue squeeze out, because there is gonna be glue squeeze out, it gets on the tape instead of on the wood. And instead of the wood absorbing glue and then it being like hard for it to take a finish, instead I can just instead I just put the tape down and I'm done with that. Now I usually go all around, but I'm not going to do this time because we're going to have to put solid color down because of this thing here. So I don't really care about the glue squeeze out there. I can just sand that off, and if it gets absorbed by a tiny bit of wood, it doesn't really matter. I can actually put this tape down like that and then take a razor and cut. Around. Like that. So much neater and nicer. Then we're just going to put glue down, and this is how you do it. You put some glue in, and then you take a stick and you smear it around. Make sure you get an even and nice coating all around. And don't worry about the whole, like, am I putting in too much? Am I putting down too much? Am I doing too little? If you make a nice even coat, something that looks maybe like, I don't know, the thickness of maybe a paper or something like that. And I know maybe you want to know the exact measurements of a paper, but you're gonna have to go and measure a paper yourself because it's too boring for me to do. And then you just try to make it look about as even as possible and go up to the edge. Maybe a tiny bit too heavy, but we're gonna squeeze the rest out, so don't worry. And then we just take the neck and we put it in. We take our clamp and we put some pressure on it. And something like that. And we're getting a little bit of squeeze out all around. And now is my other trick is you can make one of these clamping calls. I've shown you in a Guitar Life hack before, but you can also take lollipop sticks and use them for your clamps so that you don't press down your frets. I'm gonna move them over. And there comes the glue. And then we just try to remove as much of the squeeze out immediately as we possibly can. Just gonna tighten this down. Again, if you know that you're gonna do a solid color thing, you don't have to be crazy about these things. You just remove as much as you can, and that's gonna be good enough. Something like that. And now we're gonna leave this to dry over the night, which is perfect because it's too late in the evening anyway for me to continue. I'm just gonna take away some of the glue, squeeze out on the sides that you might not be able to see from that camera angle, but it's right here. I'm gonna remove the tape as well because we don't need the tape to dry together with the neck, because otherwise we're gonna have to do some weird sanding work. But yeah. So I'm gonna go and watch a film. I think I'm gonna see the film Magnolia by Paul Thomas Anderson. I recommend you do that as well because it's an awesome film. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about that film, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. Bye bye!